So you have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Yesterday during your talk, you were talking about how sati is wrongly interpreted is as awareness of this emptiness. Can you elaborate more about sati as in awareness in terms of meditation? Because as in we always thought that sati is mindfulness, but then you said it's rather awareness of this empty, like empty of.
No, that's not what I said.
Can you explain?
That's
Thank
what
you.
you think I said. We can be mindful, yeah? We can be mindful of one thing. So we are only aware of this one thing. Yeah? But that's not sati. Sati means awareness of whatever comes into the mind. No matter if it is a feeling, no matter if it is a thought, no matter if it is whatever, yeah? And that is the difference. Actually, what I said, actually at that time when you have sati, the mind is completely empty. Huh? Huh? Empty of anything, empty of any occupation. Yeah? And sati is just aware of what is coming into contact with them, with the citta. Yeah? That is what is sati. And it is very difficult. Yeah? Mindfulness is very easy. Concentration is very easy. Yeah? But this awareness, and that's what we develop. That's why why meditation, calm meditation is so important. We have to know. In the beginning, we concentrate on the breath, knowing the breath goes in, knowing that the breath goes out. But this knowingness is that what we have to develop. And that knowingness is that what is sati. Yeah? Mindfulness is now concentrating on one thing. And if you happen to know when you're mindful of one thing, everything else is blocked out. And that's not what we want. Yeah? We want to be aware of whatever there is. Yeah? We want to be aware of how the breath is at every moment. If it is slowly developing up, if it's staying a little bit, if it goes down, if it changes from in-breath to out-breath, yeah? If it is long, if it is short, and so on. And this knowingness we have to develop. In the beginning, yes, it is concentration. Yeah? And when we go on, for instance, for the breath, when we go on with this, when we stay put, at the tip of the nose, yeah? And now the breath goes in, we feel the breath goes in, we feel the breath goes out, and the citta becomes calm. Then, sooner or later, the concentration that is on the tip of the nose and the awareness that will split. Yeah? And that is the point where we only know the breath, we can't feel it anymore. And the knowingness goes there where it comes from. Yeah? In the beginning of our meditation, awareness and concentration seem to be at the same point, but it does split. Yeah, and then concentration becomes concentration, and awareness becomes awareness. Yeah, and you will never reach that point with mindfulness. Huh? That is the key to our practice. Yesterday I said, sati is the key to our practice. Without sati, we don't see anything. We are blind. Yeah? Do you remember when you concentrated on your iPhone and you stumble over all these things? Huh? You're very mindful of what is happening on your iPhone, yeah, or on your smartphone, huh? But you're not aware of where you're going, huh? Awareness is when you're walking, when your sight is a meter ahead of you, you still know what is going on. But you're aware of the breath, yeah? All the time. But this knowingness is, has a radius of 2 to 3 meters, yeah? You can even, you know who is coming. You don't have to look up to know who is coming. You can't do that with mindfulness. So awareness is the key, sati is the key, and that's why I say it's a wrong translation. Yeah? And I only understood it when my master pointed it out. The moment you have sati, there are no kilesas. When you're mindful, you still have kilesas constantly coming in. Yeah? When you have sati, that moment of sati, there are no kilesas coming in, there's pure awareness. And we need this pure awareness. In order, otherwise we will not be able to investigate properly. How will you know? How will you investigate one thing? For instance, the body. If you're constantly moving around, if you constantly like this or like that, dislike this or dislike that. So awareness is the key, and we have to develop it to the stage, through our samatha meditation, through our concentration on the breath or on the Buddha, until we know the breath. And once we know the breath, that knowing of the breath is much, much stronger than we ever felt the breath. That's where when we start to develop this knowingness. But we still keep our concentration, so it is locked on this tip of the nose. Until sooner or later both concentration and sati merge into one thing. That's when the breath stops, and it really stops. So don't get afraid. And that's when you reach, appana samadhi. But before, and the problem is with all of us is the moment this awareness drops into the heart, there are wonderful feelings coming up. And then we turn to these feelings and our concentration is gone. We should not, no matter what, when we do samatha and we stay with the breath. And the more we can stay with the breath, the deeper actually the feeling is getting. It can get so intense that you think you can't bear it, but just stay with the breath, and it will, you will get used to it. If we jump onto these feelings, what most people do, because ever finally, it's so nice, and then we're out. And then we have to start again. It's so nice. It's just like opening the door to a nice, big, nice, cool room. So nice. And then we close the door in front of us. And then we open it again, we close the door in front of us. And the result of our samadhi practice is that we feel, that was great, but we feel tired. Because we constantly opened up the door, and closed it in front of us. Actually, open up the door, go into the room, close the door behind you, and then really relax. But most of the people, see these feelings and, that's so nice. They never go into the room. The room is our safe house. Nothing can happen there. Okay, understood? Yeah? Yeah, you have to speak up.
Still relating to the question of meditation.
Yeah.
So my question is that what's the state of the mind to approach meditation? Would like the quality of equanimity or compassion or loving kindness be important in maintaining that to approach meditation? Not talking about feelings here.
Not talking about what?
Not talking about feelings here, but talking about the state of the mind. Yeah.
The state of mind. Yeah. So you only meditate when the state of mind is right? Then you hardly meditate. About these things that, the only thing, that you need, the state of mind, you should be sincere that it's now going to stick, You put yourself a time, for the next hour or for the next 45 minutes, I will stick with the Buddha, I will stick with the breath, and nothing else interests me. That's what you need for meditation. Upekkha, I mean, it is there in the heart. You first have to find it. You first have to find your heart. Huh? I mean, metta is there in the heart. Yeah? It's locked up. Yeah? So we have to get the access to the heart. You have to find the keys and unlock all these doors that you put in front of the heart. Yeah? And that's what you do with samatha meditation, yeah, with calm meditation. All what you need is, being sincere, yeah. Now I want to stick with it. Yeah? Somebody's crawling in, thinking that I don't see. You understand? Yeah? Equanimity is in the heart. It is, we have to develop it. Yeah? I mean, for samatha, you have to have equanimity. You have to have this patience to always go back. Yeah? Yeah? So over the time, yeah? Metta is in the heart. Yeah? People are, may you be happy, may you be free from suffering. They create an illusionary feeling of what they think is metta. And the moment, they try to put this metta on somebody that really don't like, blah. This metta disappears. That's our imagination of metta, or it's our imagination of upekkha, or it's our imagination of karuna. Yeah? That's not the real thing. The real thing is there. Yeah? It's locked in there. Yeah? There's a way to unlock it, but it takes some time. Yeah? Okay, understood? Sincerity, and patience, that is the key for our practice. If you're sincere to sit down, and if you're patient, to pull the mind back, that's all what it is necessary. Yeah? And over the time, you will come closer and closer to the heart. Yeah? But you might have to, put some of the rubbish that is in front of the heart, you have to relieve it. All the things that you suppressed over your lifetime, yeah, you have to release them. Yeah? Yeah, it's hard, it's hard way, it's hard practice. Yeah? There's no work in the world that is more tougher than the practice of meditation. Yeah? Don't think that you can get by with anything. Whatever you have done, it will come back to you. Yeah? Whatever you have suppressed, it will come back. We just have to realize, and then when it comes up, we look at it, we put it aside. Yeah? Not wanting to see the things that are in our heart is suppressing. Yeah? Looking at them, realizing how dangerous or how frightful they are, we're looking at them and put them aside. Yeah? And we do that until they don't come anymore. Yeah? Whoever said, meditation is, is easy. It ain't easy. Yeah? And you can't get away from the dukkha, You can't get away, You have to realize what is dukkha. You have to accept dukkha. You have to accept all these unpleasant feelings that are stored deep inside your heart. Yeah? And release them. Yeah? Huh? Release all these prisoners. Yeah? All these scarecrows that are in your heart. Yeah? That's how you make your heart free. Yeah? Yeah? Think about, your cellar or your attic where you stored all the things, you don't want to see. Huh? And it's not only this life. Think about, just 50 lives, and then you open the door and everything, is coming, flying against you, and then, okay, all what you can do is to have a free cellar, is removing one thing at a time, yeah, and getting rid of it. But your attachment, maybe I need this, maybe I need that, and then you still keep it. Yeah? Understood? Okay, more questions?
Ajahn, is it possible to meditate on karuna, upekkha, and let this arise?
Yes, it is possible. I mean, you just replace the word Buddha with metta, yeah?
Thank you.
But then you don't radiate this metta. You invite beings to take part in the metta. Yeah? Actually, when I do this, and there should be some videos or there should be some metta meditation on the website, yeah? I mean, just listen to them. When you do this, for the first 10 minutes of your meditation, you just repeat the word metta, metta, metta. And then you repeat, and then you wish yourself well. Yeah? May I be happy, may I be free from dukkha, may I be, whatever you want. Yeah? And then you do, may all beings be happy, or may all human beings be happy, may all animals being happy, you wish them. Yeah? And then you invite them, may they take part in the metta that is within my heart. Yeah? And if you invite the devas, they actually show you where the metta is in your heart. Yeah? You feel it then suddenly, yeah? If you're sincere. Yeah? But the moment you start to radiate, an illusion of what you think is metta, it fades. Yeah? You will never see. Yeah? It's the way to upekkha, it's a way to metta, because they're all in our heart. Yeah? And normally when you reach samadhi, you feel one of them. Yeah? So why should we produce something that we don't really know what it is? Why not go there? Where the source of all the things are, and the source of all of these things is the heart. That is free, that is free from memories and thoughts for a moment, for a while. Yeah. Okay, understood. Yeah. Otherwise, just listen to one of the metta meditation that is on the website. Yeah. And just follow it. Yeah?
Ajahn, most of us are working to make our ends meet, and since we are getting salary from company, we want to be responsible and do our work well. And as a result, we may put in a lot of time and effort to make our work well. So, Ajahn, could you please advise how to strike a balance between being responsible and free from being slave of ourselves?
Well, first stop the slave, that is driving around when you are off work. It's not the company that creates the stress. It's you yourself who make yourself the stress. You have to be good, you have to be better than this person, you have to be better than this person. You want to get the salary raise, so you have to work harder. You are the one who drives all these things. Yeah? You understand that? Yeah, you don't like to hear it, I know. It's us. Yeah? It's really only us, yeah? If somebody asks, if you can you do this, can you do that, yeah? And you really can't do that, but you say yes because you want to please him, then you put yourself under stress, yeah? If you are honest with this person and say, okay, I'll try my best, but I don't know if I can live up to your standards, yeah? Then you're not under stress, then you're free, yeah? And the whole dukkha, is loaded off, yeah? But we are not honest. But neither are we honest with ourselves. We are constantly, thinking we can do something that we really can't do. Yeah? And we are not honest, yeah? Especially not with our partners. Yeah? And we are not honest within our working environment. Yeah? Just be honest. Yeah, I try my best. I cannot do more than trying my best, and that's no stress. Huh? But if you think you have to be, this kind of good or that kind of good, or you have to accomplish this or accomplish that, yeah, then you put yourself under stress, yeah, and that is very difficult, yeah. The advice is, in order to see what you're doing to yourself, yeah, And you just need to look in the mirror and then you see how much stress you have, yeah? What you do is, before you start working, yeah? I mean, if you start working at 5 o'clock in the morning, then you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do 1 hour of meditation. Just calm the mind completely down, let go of any thoughts. Yeah? And then you do your work, yeah? Huh? No matter how many hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, I don't know how long they work in Singapore. And then after you come back from work, the first thing that you do is you sit down and let everything go. Everything. The whole work, so that the mind is completely free. Yeah? And then you start doing the things that you need to do at home. Yeah? And then your life is really pretty much stressless, yeah? Huh? And then later on, or maybe after that meditation, when you come home, you do a reflection. Yeah? What happened? Yeah? What kind of thoughts did I have when I woke up, I was thinking already about my my boss, that already colors your whole day, yeah? I was thinking about my work, what I have to do, that colors your day, yeah? I mean, that's what you should, really should be aware of, yeah? I mean, that's why when you get up, you throw out all the thoughts and memories, what you have to do, what you should do, yeah? Because that is going up, I mean, it is just like, yeah, having a pot of water, yeah, or stew, on your oven, and you put it full flames, and you never turn it off. I mean, what is happening to it? It's getting thicker and thicker and thicker, and at the end it explodes, yeah? With meditation, we turn off at least for a while so it can cool down. And that it helps enormously, yeah? But you have to put yourself to that, yeah? You really have to be determined to put, meditation before anything else, yeah? No, I don't have time. I mean, that's when meditation ends, and when your pot is boiling over, yeah? And do the reflection, see what is happening during the day, during the work, when you meet this person, when you meet that person. Don't judge it. Never ever judge it. Don't say it's good or bad, yeah? Let your heart see it. Actually, you have to rip open your heart and say, do you see what you're doing? And the heart will instantly say, no, I don't want to see it. Huh? The next day you show it, do you see what you're doing? No. Yeah? But after a while it slowly opens its eyes and starts to see what it's doing. Yeah? And when the heart sees what it's doing, and that what it's doing is wrong, or what it's unhealthy, yeah, or unwholesome, it lets go of it. You ever notice that you really can't, let go of the things that you like? Yeah? But the heart, the moment it sees that the thing that you like to do is unwholesome, it lets go instantly. That's a function of the heart. We cannot make the heart do that. Yeah? But we have ways, to convince the heart that what it does is wrong. Huh? And that is showing the heart, and that is by doing reflection. Yeah? Actually, if you want to become a human, I don't know if you were there last night, I said, if you want to become a human being, yeah? What makes a human being a human being? It starts to reflect of what one is doing, why one is doing, and what results one's doing has. That makes us humans, otherwise we're just robots. You understand that? Okay. So it's you who creates the problem, it's you who creates the stress, yeah? You have to realize that. There is no problem in this world. No. Yeah?
I remember I met a girl once, a really nice girl, and she told me she was leaving because her bosses told her she was not competitive enough.
Yeah?
Smart and good at the work, but she was not aggressive. She was not aggressive, she was
Yeah.
not pushy and not ambitious enough,
Yeah.
and they wanted her to be more ambitious.
Yeah.
And she said,
Yeah,
but
then
that
she
was-
better leaves.
Yeah, but you know, all companies are like that now. Most companies are. So I think a lot of young people have a hard
but we
time.
do have a choice.
Everybody can't just walk away, I think.
We do have a choice, I mean, we can choose, Either you tell the boss, that's how I am. If you don't accept me, I leave, or you take me like I am. I cannot be something that I'm not at. Yeah. But we put ourselves under pressure because we want this house, or we want to have, lots of money, or we want, this. Yeah. I mean, we can still work as a street worker, yeah, cleaning the streets. I mean, we have ample of time, I mean, we can do putto. And people like that, or we can be a gardener, yeah? Yeah. I mean, it is up to us, yeah? But if we want to drive a Mercedes and have a big house, I mean, then, of course, we have to put ourselves, under the condition where they pay that much money. Yeah? It is our choice, yeah? And choose the work, that you feel that is comfortable for your life, yeah? Well, what is it all? I told you yesterday, I mean, look in your wardrobe, look into your apartment, where are all the things, yeah? They all cost money, yeah? Do you really need them, yeah? Actually, I mean, tonight you go back, and really look at all the things, yeah? Do you really need them, yeah? All costing money, yeah? I mean, you have to work for that money, and that's why you have to put up with a lot of things like that, yeah? I mean, there are jobs everywhere, I mean, that don't require so much, yeah? They are much less stressful, yeah? I mean, a worker on the street, or even a worker, somewhere, can be much more happy than us, yeah? We constantly want things. That is the problem, yeah? We studied on university, and then of course we want to be in our job, But, of course, studying on university, requires a lot, and the job requires a lot. So, I mean, we are constantly under stress, yeah? And we constantly have to develop. We cannot stand still, yeah? A worker who sweeps the street, I mean, he can't have throughput. Yeah? And he gets enough, to have some meals, yeah? Yeah? And he will have some sort of chicken nest, I mean, where you can put his head to rest, yeah? But that's not what we want, yeah? We want all this comfort, air conditioning, big house, big car. Right? Well, then we have to put up with the discomfort of the situation, yeah? And work, but why you're here is, I mean, to understand, why am I working for that so much? It's only for the comfort of the body, yeah? And there's no comfort for the mind, yeah? The comfort for the mind, if the mind is happy, I mean, it really doesn't matter, if the body is out in the heat or in the cold, yeah? But we take the body as first, and all, we contemplate only about the body, and never take care of what the chitta, what the heart wants, yeah? The heart wants just, peacefulness, happiness, yeah? That's its right, yeah? But the slave drivers, within our heart, drive us, to have more money, better work, better house, better car. And in the end, we are 60 or 65 and then, we die. Huh? Because we worked so hard. Yeah? How many people, get retired, yeah? Especially men get retired, but nowadays also women get retired and die. Yeah? It's suddenly, this whole pressure, loads off, and they just go with it, and die. I mean, just you, I mean, how many people living in Singapore, you have the opportunity to think about what is important in your life. Huh? Not many people. Most people, just follow their life, follow their road, and they don't look left and right, Sometimes they see something, oh, that's interesting, and then still walking past their karma, walking, following their karma, just like zombies, boop, 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 But you have the opportunity to think about what is important in your life, and that's what you're going to do. I mean, you cannot take the body. Whatever you pour into the body, you cannot take with you. You cannot take I mean, think about, you're born in a car, you die in a car. I mean, do you put, when your car is wrecked, and you can't use it anymore, do you invite your relatives and bury it underground? The car? Oh, this poor car, may he be happy, may he go. But when we bury this corpse, I mean this flesh corpse, I mean we do say that, I mean the moment the body is dead, the soul is out, or the chitta is out. We can look at it, I mean it's just a corpse, The chitta has long gone, most of the people, Only highly developed spiritual people, I mean, sometimes they're interested what their relatives say about them, so they will listen in, and what they do, how they fight over the money that they left for them, But normally, the moment, just like you, I mean, when your car is wrecked, do you stay in the car? I mean, the moment you see the car is not working anymore, it doesn't go forward, doesn't go backward, doesn't go sideward, you get out of the car, You don't stay in it, So what are you going to do with a dead body that cannot move anymore? You get out. No? No? Oh, yeah. You don't, And most of the time you're pulled out, or most of the beings are pulled out, They don't even have time, to choose which way to go. The guardians of hell are already staying there, okay, there you go. Well, that's the truth, I mean, what did I tell you? I mean, one time the Venerable Ananda asked the Lord Buddha how many people are going to hell, how many people are going to heaven. What do you think he said? Do you see that bull over there? How many horns does he have? These are the people who go to heaven or Nibbana. How many hairs does he have on his fur? These are the people who go to hell. Now count the number of hairs on the fur of a bull, and you have millions, And from millions, there are only 2 people, who will go to heaven, or to Nibbana. Welcome. Welcome to reality, I mean, we all have been to hell, I mean, some of us, are longer, some of us are shorter, I mean, it's just like, I mean, just like going into prison for a few days, or maybe for a few months and then come out, you forget all about it. And most of the people forget it, But when they're reminded about there is hell, they don't want to believe it, or they think, I mean, it's just a fairy tale. So why are we scared? If it is a fairy tale, why are we scared? Every child is scared of hell. Because he still remembers, Maybe it just came back from hell, And then he even remembers it much better, When you came back from heaven, I mean, you might not remember it that well, But you're still scared, I mean, the chitta knows everything, That was what we were talking about. It knows everything. It knows every life that we have lived. Be it an animal life, be it a ghost life, it does remember everything. But we don't. The moment we are born as a human being, we forget our previous lives, most of us. And we do have a choice, I mean, every moment, we are standing at a crossroad. I mean, you can pick up that new job, you can stay in your new job, you can move to another country, You have 16 choices every moment. Every mind moment you have 16 choices. Yeah? You can go the way, that you're going right now, just going to work, yeah? Getting up, going to work, eating, sleeping. Getting up to work, eating, sleeping, yeah? And so on. You can choose that, yeah? But you can choose a different way. You have 16 types of karma that you have lived before. You have lived, you have lived as a recluse before, yeah? Maybe it's a long time ago, yeah? But some of you, they will see it in your meditation when the meditation starts to take fruit, yeah? It's part of that life, yeah? Where it comes to fruition, yeah? And so do we have, when we die. But because, we are in pain and agony when we die, we take the big road, yeah? And the big road is normally, normally we regret. Before we die, we regret, oh, why did I do that? Yeah. And that's exactly where we go to hell, yeah? That's why the Lord Buddha actually said, if you have a relative, if you have your parents, and they are just about to die, tell them all about the good things that they did in this world, yeah? So they can take at least, the choice, having the choice of going to heaven or going to back to the human realm, yeah? If you tell them, all the bad things that they do, that's where you send them to hell, yeah? And think about when you really get sick. What are your thoughts about? You don't have these happy thoughts. Yeah, you have the thoughts of regret. Yeah, and that's what normally what happens to most of the people. Yeah, and the moment they are close to die, all the sins that they've done come up. Yeah? Now, if you don't have a nice partner, who tells you all the good things that you have done, if you have done any, yeah. Then you will go there. Yeah? It is, it is a circle, yeah? And we should be aware of it, yeah? And you now, from yesterday on, you should be aware of it. Yeah? Keep the 5 precepts, and then you will be safe. You will not go down. You still can eat ice cream, you can still go shopping, yeah? You can still travel around the world. That is not against the 5 precepts, yeah? But you should put your brain to function before you open your mouth. Know what you say, why you say, and what the result of it, yeah? In German we have that saying, yeah? Turn on your brain before you open your mouth, yeah? Because you don't know what is coming out, yeah? So there's nothing to be afraid of, yeah? Even if you did bad things, yeah? Lumpur also did bad things, yeah? I was young, I wasn't brought up as a Buddhist, yeah? I was brought up as a Christian, yeah? And did all sorts of things, yeah? Only when I started to realize with 20 or so, yeah? I just counted all my sins up, and then I realized, just for these little things, they weren't really heavy things, I didn't steal anything or so. Yeah? Just for these little things, I will be in hell for 30 years. Yeah? This lie, for your parents, or for the teacher, you lied here, you lied there, you did this, you took things away from other people, just to get, yeah, to annoy them and so on, yeah. Yeah. All these little things, just add up, yeah. Why are people coming so late? Huh? Now it is nearly, 40 minutes past the time. Huh? I don't understand what you think, yeah? Do you think this is a zoo? Where everybody, amusement park, where everybody can come in at any time? Huh? This is the Dhamma hall. Respect the Dhamma. Yeah? Lumpur doesn't say anything if you're 5 minutes late, but 40 minutes, yesterday 1 hour. Yeah, what goes on in your brain? Nothing, yeah? You're just like a zombie running through. Yeah, I need to. Huh? No? You human being? Huh? Do you have a mind where you can reflect of what you're doing, why you're doing, and what the result of your doing is? Huh? You want to see Lupo getting angry, huh? He can get angry. You don't do yourself a favor, and you don't do all the other people, you disturb them. Yeah? Yeah. Thick-skinned as an elephant, yeah? Elephant in a glass door, yeah? Turning around and smashing everything. Okay, so where are the other questions?
Yes, Long
Yeah.
when the kileshas disturb us during our sleep and our dreams, what could we do?
What are the kileshas doing with your dreams?
Making us angry, making us, think about all the.
If you have a dream,
Bad
replace
thoughts.
it with Buddha. Yeah? Just replace it, don't think about it.
The dream just carries on and.
Yeah, your life is just carrying on until you die. Yeah? If you don't do anything, if you walk, and walk and don't stop, we'll still be walking. Yeah? What do we learn here? We learn here to have control over our mind. When the mind goes out, no matter if it is a dream, no matter if it is a daydream, no matter if it is a memory, no matter if it's a thought, we bring it back either to the breath or to the Buddha. That's all. Don't even think about the dreams. Yeah? The dreams are as useful as the thoughts that you have in your meditation. Huh? Garbage. You never realized how many times have you had the same kind of thought? No? It's always the same kind of thoughts coming up. Always, it's just like a treadmill. Same kind of thoughts coming up. Huh? And what kind of good have they done? So why not calling it garbage? Garbage out, 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 out. Yeah? Yeah? Make the heart free. Yeah? A heart free has all the possibilities. Yeah? A heart, the mind that is set on one thing, doesn't see all the opportunities that are around. Yeah? You're going for your degree, and you miss all those nice opportunities that are around you. Yeah? Because your mind is so fully closed onto. Oh? You can call it tunnel viewed. Yeah? You understand? If you go for your aims, yeah? Without, just your mind, you're completely on your aim. You want a new car, you want a house, you want a new job, or you want to study this or study that. All the opportunities, when you go open-minded, through the streets, yeah, then you see something that is much more worthwhile than what you're chasing after. No? Huh? So that's how we block all these things. Okay, now the door is locked. Okay, yeah, I have a question.
Afternoon, Ajahn. Ajahn, I read about that you sit for long hours
Yeah.
for meditation.
Yeah.
At the same time, like other Ajahns, you go on Tudong trips as well.
Yeah.
May you share with us the purpose of such a Tudong activity? Is it for the cultivation of awareness or sharpening of the awareness during your Tudong activity?
I still don't understand what does Tudong have to do with, or what is the difference between Tudong and meditation?
To me, Tudong is more on an activity that you do in walking in the forest.
Yeah.
Whereas meditation is when you sit down, still yourself.
You can't do breath meditation while you're walking? I mean, were you here yesterday? I told you how to do walking meditation. So where's the difference?
Okay.
When you go to Tudong, you do walking meditation, yeah? Until you go to reach your next, you reach your next stop, and that's where you do sitting meditation. And the next day you go walking, do walking meditation. That's what all the masters did, from Lumpur Man, Lumpur Sao, yeah? That's what they did. There was nobody on the way there, yeah? Yeah, here you see too many people, yeah? Normally we do walking meditation, in a place, where nobody's around, yeah? So we just with the breath, or we just with the Buddha, whatever you want. Or we do contemplation, yeah? We contemplate the body, While we do walking, we cut off the parts of the body, and throw them until there's nothing left. And then we go back and gather them up again, yeah? You can do so many things, why do you think Tudong? Tudong is actually, it's actually very healthy, yeah, or very helpful because you're alone. People are scared to be alone. No? Try to be in a cave alone, with all the ghosts and spirits around you, yeah, or the tigers or the snakes, yeah, and then try to contemplate, yeah. That's the whole purpose. Yeah? Okay, understood? Tudong, it's just meaning, you're a wandering monk, yeah? You don't stay at one place, yeah? You can stay, yeah, like Lumpur Man, he was wandering for a while, and then he stayed, for instance, at Sarika cave for 3 years. The same place, yeah? It has nothing to do with meditation, yeah. If you're walking, if you're a walking monk, or if you're a monk in a monastery, or if you just live in a cave, or if you just live under a tree, or in a house, yeah, or on the top of the mountain, yeah. There are so many things. What does it have to do with meditation? Yeah, you can wherever you are, Okay.
So Ajahn, is there any intention for you to maybe one day bring some ladies along with you on your Tudong trip?
What? What did I say? Tudong is, somebody goes alone. Huh? This is something that is so hard for me to understand, yeah? I know where it is coming from the society we live in. We always have to do activities. We can't sit still on our fort, We have to do something, yeah? That's something, somebody suggests we have to do something to reach something. Actually, you have to do nothing to reach something, yeah? And that is just still, just stick to one point, yeah? Once you're at a certain level, then I kick out my monks, to go on Tudong, yeah? If they are ready to it. Some of them are not ready. Even after 20 years, they are not ready. Some of them are ready after a few years, yeah? It depends on, yeah? People get crazy, when the moment they are alone, yeah? I did one time the mistake, it was a long time ago, probably 10 years ago. I took 3 people, to a cave, yeah? After 3 weeks, they were all bizarre, yeah? So I had to send them back, yeah? They can't cope with this, yeah? Even though, they weren't alone, we were meeting in the morning and evening, yeah? Even though, yeah? Just staying alone in a cave, makes people go berserk, yeah? They can't cope with it because, they haven't developed the calm and the upeka, and the qualities of the heart yet, yeah? So we have to be really careful, yeah? But people always want these activities, going on their bike, now it's good, yeah? And what have you achieved? Nothing. Huh? Just wasted some energy, yeah? Now get the mind calm and see, yeah? Okay. That's modern technique.
Okay. Ajahn, is there a stage where a meditator can train to be able to decide where they want to go for rebirth? Like, say, a meditator is very generous, but being generous, the karma will bring them a good rebirth in the Deva realm. But in the realm, if it's too comfortable, the meditator cannot practice, but still want to be a human being. Is there such choice? I mean, we train to such a choice that we can choose our rebirth?
If you would have listened, you would have understood. You have 16 choices, or depending on your different karma. I mean, there's the story of one of the monks who was, I don't know, with an Ajahn who died because of malaria, yeah? And then he was practicing all the time, so when he died, he remembered everything, yeah? I mean, when he died, he was on a path, and then he met an old man, and then this man said, okay, here's the way to heaven, yeah? And they said, I'm still thirsty, I still want water, And then he went the other way, and went and then saw a woman, on a well, taking water. I want this water, And the next thing that he was reborn as a human being, yeah? But he remembered everything of it, yeah? So he had a choice, to go someplace. Yeah? Some people who really don't have so much bad karma, they have the choices to come back as a human being if they want to train. So when he was born again, he constantly referred to himself as Atama, and Atama is a referral for only for monks, how they refer to themselves, yeah. And the parents said, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's pom, yeah. Yeah, you can't say Atama, yeah. But he said, my Ajahn lives there, 11 kilometers away from me. I want to see him, yeah? But they didn't allow it, they didn't believe him, they didn't allow it. So only when he was about 11 years old, he went there with his friends and to see his Ajahn. And then he said, that's my Ajahn, yeah? And then he referred the whole story to him. And then this Ajahn remembered, yes, he was dead, and all these things, yeah. So, you do have a choice. If you have nothing else to do than meditating, if you do meditation all day long, for 20, 30 years, you certainly do have the choice, Huh? If you think the time is ripe, if you still have an Ajahn that you want to learn from, you come back as a human being, yeah? If that Ajahn is not too old, But if otherwise, you just wait in heaven, until the time is ripe, and then you see, whenever there are good teachers down on earth, yeah, and then you get reborn, yeah. That's for a spiritual being, yeah. No? Most people don't have the choice, yeah. They're bound to flesh. Okay, so. Why you become a nun? You want to become a nun, or? Aspire to be, yeah.
Ajahn, back to the meditation. So if we meditate and the unresolved issues comes up to the mind.
What comes up?
Unresolved issues.
Issues.
Yeah. Yes, it comes up to the mind. So instead of replacing with Buddha or with the breath, how do we, use meditation to resolve it? Because it keeps coming up maybe it keeps coming up at certain times where we meditate.
Then you look at it, yeah. If it is an issue, if it is a problem, or if it's an issue that comes up constantly,
yes.
Don't expect that you to solve it within one day. Yeah.
Yes.
You just look at it. But look at it without any thoughts. Yeah. You have to use the sati, just to look at it. Yeah. And then ask your heart, you understand it? Yeah. And the heart will say no. Okay. The next time it comes up, you look at it again. Yeah. And each time you look a little bit closer. Yeah. You look a little bit. You widen the scope, what happened before, what happened after, you widen the scope a little, just look at it. Yeah? Don't try to imagine anything, don't try to solve anything, just look at it, with a concentration on the breath or with a concentration on the Buddha, just look at the issue. Yeah? And then it slowly fades away, and then let it fade away. Yeah? And the next time it comes up, you look at it. Until the heart really understands what the problem is. And when the heart understands what the problem is, it solves the problem. You don't have to do anything.
Okay. So just to clarify, when we say to look at it, it just means give it awareness and attention, but not react.
Yeah,
correct?
Not react. Yeah.
Okay.
Give it awareness, give it attention. Looking at it means being aware of it, and accepting it. And that is the biggest problem that we have. Yeah, especially if the issues are non-pleasant or unpleasant, we don't want to accept them.
Right.
So you have to accept them with the whole body. Yeah, breathe them. Let the body relax. And accept it. Just like with pain and any kind of feelings. Any kind of unpleasant feeling, we have to accept them. We want to get rid of them, and that's not the way. Yeah. When we investigate pain, we have to accept them. Yeah?
Right.
Sometimes, thank God, now there's pain, now I have a stable object. Yeah? It's not going away. And it is so, you can so easily concentrate on the pain, much better than you can concentrate on the Buddha, because that slides away or the breath slides away, but the pain is there constantly. Yeah? So sometimes you're so happy, when you really try to concentrate, when the pain is coming, because it's constantly there. But you have to be able to accept it. Yeah, you don't want to, to go it away. That's what most people want. Unpleasant feeling, how can I get rid of it? How can I get rid of it? Yeah, you will never get rid of it. It gets more and more and more. Yeah. The more you dislike it, the more it is becoming unpleasant. Yeah? The more you like it, the more it seems to disappear. Yeah? It's just a feeling, it's not you. Yeah? Okay, understood?
Understood. So that includes the associated emotions that comes with this, with this issue, right? It's the same.
There shouldn't be any, only in the beginning. But if your mind is stable, on the Buddha, or on the breath, these emotions that come with it, cannot be any. Yeah? It might come up with this emotion, but if you just look at it,
right.
Yeah, without any thought, without any memory, and that's what you really have to train. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the memory and the thoughts instantly, push up these emotions. Yeah? Just like I said in this morning, it's just like, sugar candy, just a handful, makes huge. Yeah? Ingredients are just sugar. Yeah? But it blows up, and that's what thoughts and memories do, they blow up these feelings, to an emotion. Yeah? So when you are able to look at it completely neutral, yeah, just look at it, yeah, then there is nothing coming with it, yeah. Okay. Only with the appearance of it comes, yeah, but it dies down very quickly. Yeah? It's the same thing, just test it out. When a feeling comes up, the moment you look at it, it's gone. If you have nothing in mind. Yeah? If you think about this feeling or if you memorize about this feeling, of course it won't go away. Yeah?
Yeah. Thank you.
It's just all phenomena. You want to ask something? Yeah, then ask. I'm close listening.
Good afternoon, Ajahn. I have a question on the practice of meditation. So what does one do after one reaches a stage of just being, like nothingness or just being.
What is she asking?
I have a question on the practice of meditation.
Yeah.
So what does one do after one reaches a stage of just being? Like it's like emptiness.
What does
just
one...
being? It's just like just being there. It's like a nothingness or emptiness. So what does one do after one reaches that?
After you come out of the emptiness, or when you go into the emptiness, what shall I do? Then you are not in the emptiness, because you don't want to get out.
Yeah, so I mean, what does one do after one reaches that stage? Just stay there and then just naturally comes out, or?
Yeah. I mean, how can you not enjoy it? I mean, your first thought, when you actually are driven out, and most of the people are driven out, your first thought is how to get back to it. I mean, enjoy it. You never relax your mind, yeah? Huh? You constantly relax your body. Every night you throw it into the bed, in order to be able to relax, yeah? Relax your mind first, yeah? Once the mind is stable, once the mind is powerful, then investigate, and investigate the body, yeah? Have you been there last night, yeah? I mean, I'm not really going into detail with the investigation of the body. I mean, you can find some talks, yeah, on the website, yeah? I'm talking a lot about a super practice, yeah? Investigate the body. What is the body? Why are you doing all these things, yeah? Is the body you, yeah? Take it apart, cut it off, cut all the things off, lay it in front of you. Put it on a heap, put it, there's the knee, there's the toes, there's the fingers, there's the hands, and just look at it, and all the parts are out there, where are you? Huh? And then put the parts back together, yeah? And then put them out again, and put them back together. Just like the Lord Buddha, gave the example, I mean, if you disassemble a cart, where's the cart? There's no cart. There are nuts, bolts, planks, yeah? There's a wheel, and so on. There's no cart. When you put them together, there's a cart. Investigation of the body is the first thing that you have to investigate, yeah? Most probably after investigation of pain, because if you sit long, there will be pain, yeah? Okay, understood? But first of all, relax, I mean, enjoy the calmness and the peacefulness. I never asked myself what I'm going to do, when I'm calm. I'm just calm and happy, I don't want anything in that moment, at that moment. I don't want anything, yeah? When they drive me out, when the kilesas knock on the door and drive me out, then the only thought I have is how to get back into, yeah? Because I don't want to be disturbed, yeah? I mean, so people who ask these questions have never been in this calm, otherwise... But if you've been long enough in the calm, of course, then you can use the power of concentration to investigate. And then, I mean, it is just like a laser beam, that cuts through everything, and you see very objectively. Yeah? But first of all, you have to get there, and it is not easy. You can't do that in lay life. Yeah. Normally in lay life, you just can relax, and you can contemplate and reflect a little bit to make your life easier. Yeah? That's all. Yeah? I mean, when Lumpa thinks about, when he started meditation, when he actually went into homelessness, when was it, 31 or 33, I mean, he practiced from 6 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the night. You do that? Slept for 3 hours. Sometimes slept only for 2 hours, yeah? When I became then a monk, I was practicing for 3 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock, yeah. In the morning, and then had a break, and then I practiced on, until 11 o'clock in the night. Yeah? 14, 15, 16 hours of practice. That's where you get results, yeah. Otherwise, it's just child work, yeah. You understand that? Huh? Don't think it comes easy. Yeah? But you enjoy it. Over the time you enjoy it. You don't want to do anything else. Yeah? And you switch, samatha meditation or calm meditation with investigation. Yeah? You do do a few hours of investigation, then you calm the mind, you rest the mind, and then you do another investigation, and then you rest the mind. Yeah? That's why we need this samatha first. Yeah? We need to be able, you need to be able to put your body to rest when you worked hard, If you can't do that, there's no point in working. It all becomes fuzzy. Yeah? And that's the same thing. We first have to learn how to put the mind to rest. And once we can put the mind to rest at any time, yeah? Then we can start working. Yeah? If it just happens once in a while, we cannot do the hard work. Yeah? Then you can do all what you can do is, as lay people, is reflection. Yeah? Well, what happened this morning? Why, I reacted this way, and then you see how stupid, in most of the cases, how stupid we are. We react, without any reason, yeah? And we hurt ourselves, most of the time we hurt ourselves, yeah? And sometimes we hurt other people, yeah? And that's what you will see, yeah? But if you just run along, we won't see anything, and we still continue our bad habits, yeah? Our patterns. So you wanted to ask something.
Ajahn, it's about sati in daily life. So how about how to maintain sati? I feel it's very difficult because like when we are doing meditation, it's more like building up the concentration.
Yeah.
So I feel like only occasionally when it feels like the mind like is going to an object and it's building up on a single object, that concentration. But at times when it drops back, and only during that very few moment, then I feel that it's with the heart. That's when there's some, I do not know whether that's sati. It feels like it's sati. Is that understanding correct?
From your description, it's very difficult to say. So you have to go more into detail. But normally sati is, when you're just aware and when there's no judgment of it.
Yeah, it feels that way. But then once you have thoughts, once the heart
once you have thoughts, and the sati is gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So once you identify with the thoughts, it get lost in the.
If you just see the thoughts passing by like clouds, then there's still sati, But the moment you grab hold of the thought, or grab hold of the memory, then there's no more sati. Yeah? That's clear. It will take some time, yeah? Lumpo was still working, in the beginning when he trained it. So, that's why I said, it's a good training before you go to work. Sit for 1 hour. When you come back from work, sit for 1 hour, and then get rid of all what you've done, yeah? And after that, do your reflection, and then go around, what you have to do at home, yeah? But don't think about work, because, people can't stop thinking about work, and all these worries about all these problems might appear tomorrow, yeah? And when you do something, when you go shopping, I told you how to do walking meditation, yeah? And do walking meditation while you go shopping. Then you might not want to buy anything. And the kilesas, might want to torpedo this method. Yeah. No, when you wait for the bus, or when you wait for the train, puto. Yeah, or be with the breath. Yeah? Even when you drive a car. Yeah? I tried it out, I didn't look at the traffic lights. I just tried to be aware. And the moment I heard all the movements, of the other cars, I knew I could drive. Yeah? I didn't have to watch the traffic light. When is it turning green? You keep calm. Yeah? So repeat the Buddha, while you're driving. Yeah? Increases awareness. You know what other people are going to do before you actually, see it happening. Because awareness is aware of the intention of other people. In the intention of other people comes before their action. So it's before you. The more you do it, you have so many time, you waste so many times, picking up a magazine, going through, when you wait for your new hairstyle, it's a waste of time. Yeah? And then you sit at the doctor's office, and look at it, you're not really interesting, but you want to distract yourself. So go ahead and do Buddha, or, do the breath meditation, yeah? There's so much time during the day, where we have, where we actually, could do these things, yeah? And the reflection helps us, to enforce it a little bit, yeah? When we see we wasted our time at the doctor, the next time we go to the doctor and say, okay, today I go to the doctor, I will not touch these magazines. Yeah? Huh? And things like that. Yeah? We do so many things completely irrational, just because we want to distract yourself. Yeah? And keep your smartphones in your pocket. Don't put them out. Huh? This is the number one adversary. Number one adversary of any kind of serious meditator. Yeah? This smartphone, yeah? Why do you think, they invented it? For us to get completely distracted. Just like I said yesterday, the concentration span of the people nowadays is so short, yeah? They can't concentrate, for 1 minute on the same thing. They need constant distraction, yeah? And the more we get into these smartphones or whatever it is, or these watches, or I don't even know what, and I don't want to know. Yeah? The less grows our concentration span. Yeah? And then it's half a minute, then it's half a second, and then in the end, we have nothing left. Yeah? So reduce the things you don't need. Yeah? Get rid of them. Yeah. Put them in airplane mode. And only when you need to use it, then turn it off, yeah? Turn it on, yeah? Yeah. Oh, what is this person writing? Yeah, now I'm writing something. What is this person, commenting on my writing, yeah? Oh, what kind of life is that, yeah? Just like, 50 years ago, waiting for your girlfriend or boyfriend to call you, yeah? Why is he not calling? Why is he not calling? Yeah? Now you wait for the comments of your friends, what are they thinking, what you just said? Yeah? Huh? BS, yeah? Huh? Well, what does it matter what other people think, It does matter what we think, yeah? How we feel. Yeah? Nobody knows what we really feel and how we are. Yeah? Huh? What we know. Yeah? But at the moment, you even don't know. Yeah? You're not even aware of what is going on within your heart, because your mind already planned, the next 3 or 4 weeks, yeah, or maybe the next 3 or 4 years, yeah. And so you're just running along, yeah. Yeah. Huh? Sometimes opening our eyes, most of the times closing. Yeah, what? You have a question. Yeah.
Another question you say about awareness, how when your concentration is very strong, it will split into that awareness. So during that second, for example, when we're meditating, the breath, so some thoughts come, some thoughts goes away. So should we, because we're talking about how the awareness and samadhi split, is it?
If you could think your way out, you would probably be one of the first. You use thoughts. Meditation is not about thoughts, not about thinking how to do something. It's actually, observing what is happening. So you observe what is happening. That's all what you do. You understand that? People who get smart try to make a shortcut, how to get to smart, but there's no shortcut. There's no shortcut, you can't teach her, you can't give a little child, a book how to learn to walk, yeah? It won't understand it. It has to try. Meditation is trial and error, yeah? So you try, yeah? So you're with the Buddha or you're with the breath, and then you see the mind going out, and then you pull it back, yeah? And then you pull it back, and then you pull it back, yeah? And that's how awareness slowly develops, yeah? And if awareness slowly develops, you will know that the awareness slowly develops. How can you not know? Huh? And try to put your hand on a stove, on a hot stove, huh? And then say, I don't know that I burned myself. Huh? Don't you know that you burnt yourself? Huh? But when your hand is behind you on the stove, yeah, and you don't know that your hand is burning, and you see somebody coming out, you say, this is the fault for my hand burning, because you have never looked, that your hand is constantly on the stove. Yeah? And that's what we do. We never look, where our heart is. We only look what is happening outside of us. And when our heart is unhappy, then we find the reason. This person, made me unhappy. Yeah? It's your fault. Yeah? It's your fault. Yeah? Only your fault. Yeah? Nobody else's. Yeah? You get it? Yeah? 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 Don't think. Yeah? We learn how to stop think. Yeah? We learn how to be. Be, yeah? Be difficult, very difficult. Just to be, not to react. So, what?
Ajahn, from day to day, how can we practice about the non-self? I know last night you talked a lot about this discussion of body, but practical advice, because every day we have praise and blame. So,
sometimes sometimes people are in the kindergarten and they already want to know, how to advance, in their university studies, huh? Slowly go up the ladder, yeah? Huh? If you train yourself, in the reflection, that's where you see these things are not self, yeah? You can remind yourself, yeah? When a feeling is coming, that's what I said. When a feeling is coming, say there is a feeling. And the more often you do it, the more often the heart has to understand it. You want to understand it here. Huh? Let the heart understand it. Once the heart understands it, it lets go of its attachment. Huh? And say, when you look in the mirror, there's a body, how funny does this face look, yeah? Huh? What does it look like when I tear off the skin? Huh? These things you can ask, if it happens to. Yeah? But mostly, when feelings, when thoughts, when memories come, don't say, I feel like this, I feel bad. But just say, there's a bad feeling. That is the principle of anatta. There's a memory, yeah, and then you can look at the memory, yeah? And then you see it, instantly disappears, yeah? That's how you can use it. And it slowly grows, grows more and more and more, until you understand more, yeah? But you have to wait, A baby will not grow, to an adult in one day, huh? Huh? It has to develop slowly, grow. Inch by inch, or centimeter by centimeter, yeah. So our heart will grow, yeah. Otherwise, we just get monks, at the age, when we retire, and then the next day, we are liberated. All this hard work, stupid. Yeah. Sometimes, I really feel stupid, when these lay people come and, why can't we do it, in 4 weeks, yeah? We just sit on our cushion, especially in the West, yeah? You sit 4 weeks, and maybe 3 months, 3 months, yeah? 3 months on our cushion, and then we get liberated, yeah. They haven't even touched, the first problems. All what happens is the mind gets calm, and then they think they are liberated. And then the mind gets restless, they think, oh, well, what's that? It doesn't matter, go back to calm. Yeah? No, once you get rid of all things, the mind is empty all the time. It's not occupied with anything. Yeah? That's when freedom is. Yeah? Not when you see the kilesas running around, but you're not interested. Yeah? There are no more kilesas. Yeah? When you're free, there are no more kilesas because you chucked them out, you killed them off, yeah? You evaporated them. Yeah? They have no more power over you. Yeah? And that's when the mind is empty, yeah? Because normally it is full of these kilesas. That doesn't mean that you're vegetable. Huh? You still have a body, you still have the senses, you still... Huh? Okay, so... Finished. Okay, last question. You need to practice, I'm not only asking questions. Not just asking questions for not to practice, huh?
No, okay, so I understand what Ajahn said, that for sati, right, we have to go through deep samadhi to develop sati.
Yeah.
What about is there another way to develop sati through the Satipatthana Sutta, where we are aware of body, feeling, mind, and the Dhamma?
Yeah, but how do you first have Satipatthana, the 4 foundations of mindfulness, yeah? Or the 4 foundations of awareness, yeah? The first foundation of awareness is your breath.
How about the awareness of the movements of the body?
Yeah, but you don't get one-pointed. Yeah?
So we will have the prerequisite of getting one-pointedness before we can do this.
It is much easier. I see people walking, walking very slowly. Yeah, they're walking out. They might be mindful, but their mind is mostly occupied with something else. Yeah. I know, Mahasi Sayadaw, teaches this method, and 1% of the people who are taught this method actually can develop with this method. Yeah. He didn't teach it because there was no sense to it, but most of them cannot deal with it because it takes so much concentration. You really have to be aware all the time. And when you look at the people, in the West, you look at the people here in Singapore and China, they're constantly busy with things. Yeah, how can they concentrate on that? Yeah, the mind is constantly going off. Yeah. So first of all, you have to be able to center your mind, and then you can use. Yeah. And actually I said, when there's a feeling, look at the feeling, that is, what is it? Huh? When there's a memory, look at the memory, yeah?
It's the same.
But you will not understand, huh? Look at the body within the body. Do you understand what he means? See? So stick with the Buddha. Look at the feeling within the feeling. Huh? Huh? It is so difficult. Huh? You have to be 100% awareness in order to be able to understand what he's saying with us. Huh? But people always, that's why the Burmese tradition is so loved, because they stimulate our intellect. And the Theravada is so boring, because all what you have to do is constantly go back to the Buddha. Isn't it boring? Yeah, going back to the breath, isn't it boring? Yeah, that's why you want to get something exciting. Yeah? No?
No, sometimes, like for example, if you do Buddha, right? So I went for a forest retreat, and the Ajahn, the Lumpur said to do Buddha because we are all beginners. So we did Buddha for 5 days, and there were some results in the meditation.
Of course.
But then when we come back to Malay life, we realize that every time we do Buddha and cover over our thoughts, the mind becomes a little retarded, like it can't think anymore because you just keep using Buddha to calm down the thoughts.
Yeah, and?
So then it becomes very difficult to use Buddha in the lay life because then we still have to work and we still have to think and we have to...
I mean, if you have to use your thoughts, for working, then you have to use them, yeah? But, I mean, if you call me a retard, then I'm a retard, yeah?
I don't mean that, No.
And I mean, you must have seen in my talks, I must be so dull, I can't even think out things, yeah?
No, I think it's how we manage, maybe the way we manage, maybe we just want a state where there are no thoughts. So
I mean, if you push, Buddha is just a replacement. If there's a thought, you accept the thought and replace it with Buddha. But if you try to push something, nothing good is coming out of it. And how can you get retarded if there's awareness developing? Awareness actually shows you much more than when you think. Thinking is tunnel viewed, awareness is 360-degree view. Yeah? So, then something is wrong with the practice, yeah? Replacing, yeah? That's where we do gently, we don't push things, that's doers, people in our age want to push things. Nothing good comes out of it, yeah? Just replace it, Buddha. Yeah? It's not easy, yeah? And train it more, do it for longer, to go for 10 days retreats, and then do it for 10 days, yeah? And see what's coming out, yeah? There should be some awareness coming up, yeah? If you do it correctly. If you don't do it correctly, of course, nothing is coming out except for frustration. Huh? But I never heard, a person, who doesn't think is retarded. I must be the most retarded person, here in Singapore. Isn't that interesting? Yeah? What? Yeah. Normally we do, yeah. We push things, yeah. We don't want to see them, and that is the danger. Meditation is not about pushing things away. It's accepting, and then putting it off, yeah. Replacing. You do that all your life, yeah. You see something ugly on the street, you just turn your head around, yeah. You don't even notice that you do it, huh? You do it automatically, yeah. If you see an ugly person, or a bad-smelling person, you automatically put your head around. Eh? You don't want to see it, and that's a whole practice of meditation. Yeah? Whenever something comes in, we put it back to the Buddha. But there we have one point. Yeah? It's just replacing, not pushing something down. But there are some things, that you want to push down that you don't want to see. And that's where the mind gets dull. Really dull. Yeah? It can go really into dullness, because you don't want to see, I 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 don't want to see. And then of course you don't see anything. Huh? That's not the way, that's not the practice. Practice is accepting whatever comes and replacing it with the Buddha or with the attention on the breath, yeah? Look, do the daily reflection and see where it's going wrong, because you will see it instantly. Yeah? Okay? So, enough, yeah? You hardly have any time to practice, yeah? It's just listening to an old man.